Welcome everyone to Comics from the Multiverse, episode 310. That doesn't sound right. 310. What's the best way of saying this? It's an awkward number.
Maybe 310 works.
It's
like the 310 to Yuma.
Aye, 310. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 310 to Yuma. Comics from the Multiverse, episode 310 to Yuma. Welcome everyone. I'm Peter, joined always by Matt.
Which of us is the prisoner being transported is the question.
Just on the subject, original 310 to Yuma, much better than the remake.
I've only seen the remake, so I'll have to check down the original.
I saw the original probably about 2 years ago now, but I wasn't expecting to like it because I'm not really into old westerns as much, but I actually found myself really into it and enjoyed it quite a bit.
Did you watch that around the same time you watched Rio Bravo and was like, this is no assault on Precinct 13?
Oh yeah, because I watched the Yuma, got so excited to check out some classic westerns that maybe I was ignoring, watched Rio Bravo and went, this is shit.
That's funny.
So, there's good ones, there's bad ones. You just you have to find them. But anyway, as a DC Comics podcast, Connor is not here. He is back from vacation. He was sick. I recorded with him the other night, and his voice was like, "Yes, this episode of Star Trek is not bad. Yes."
If only there was a solution to keep him from getting sick.
I don't think it's that. It's not the virus, but
true, but still. He
always gets sick when he goes on holiday.
Yeah, well, still, being in condensed, because I don't know if he took a train or a plane, but being in a condensed area with a filtration system usually leads to you getting sick. One of the sickest I've ever been was coming back from visiting my dad in Hawaii. I ended up with a sinus infection that became bronchitis, or vice versa, one of the two, and it was terrible. But it was from being on a plane for 5.5 hours. So,
well,
Connor deserves it.
Yes. So he may be back next week, but his work shifts were all over the place when he came back. So, but he is miserable. He's miserable working ill right now. So,
damn, 310 to Yuma, the original's not streaming anywhere for free. You'd have to rent it.
It was on Criterion when I watched it.
Yeah, it's not on there because I would sign up for Criterion for a month and knock it out because that's worth what. Watch 2 movies. Right there, it covers 2 rentals. But it's not even. It doesn't. According to Just Watch, it's not there. But they've been wrong before.
Yeah, I don't have to take away the update or whatever. But anyway, this is a DC Comics podcast. We get together. We talk about the DC Comics we read this week. Coming up on this week's show, we have Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue 12, Wonder Woman 788, Batgirls issue 7, Batman Urban Legends issue 16, or partially anyway, at least. Naomi season 2 issue 4, and Jurassic League issue 2. That's what's coming up on the show.
The main event.
Of course you say that. But we also have Solicits this week, so that probably didn't sound like a super heavy show, but don't worry, September Solicits are here to give us plenty to talk about, so we're going to dive into that as we do every month. So that is the plan for the episode. So yeah, we can get into it soon, but don't worry everyone, there's always time for a ComiXology top 10.
Aye.
You love it. You love it.
I don't.
You do. It's your favorite thing. All right. So, what you guess is number 1 right now, Matt?
Is it one of the big 2?
It is one of the big 2.
All right. I'm gonna say Wolverine.
It's not Wolverine.
Damn.
It's not Wolverine. It is Marvel though.
X-Men Red.
It is X-Men Red. It's currently number 1 on ComiXology at the time of recording. Number 2 is actually a very surprising DC book.
Is it Jurassic League?
No, you wish.
I do wish. If it's surprising, is it Wonder Woman?
Nope.
Dang, okay, I'm out of guesses.
It's the Tim Drake Pride special.
Oh, good.
I say it's surprising because it's it's mostly a reprint.
Right.
I don't know if just Tim Drake fans who didn't want to buy Urban Legends have all just bundled up and now they're all buying this.
Or they did buy Urban Legends and they wanted it collected. So.
Maybe. I guess.
Well, good.
More on Tim Drake later.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Fantastic Four issue 44. Number 4, back to DC with Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue 12. Are we on that? I thought it was cutting off. Number 5 is Captain America, Sons of Liberty.
Yep, that is I think that's the Lansing and Kelly one.
Yeah, it's new issue 1. Yeah. Yep. Number 6 is Wolverine, issue 22. Number 7 is Batman Urban Legends. Number 8 is Iron Man, issue 20. Number 9 is, what the hell is this? Do a Power Bomb, issue 1.
So I picked that up. I haven't read it. It's Daniel Warren Johnson. And the guy that does the pull list threw it in my box because he knows I like wrestling. And I was like, oh, thanks, but I have a hard enough time reading all my DC stuff. And then I saw it was Daniel Warren Johnson, and I go, oh, that means it must be a little like Jurassic League.
Yeah, the co-writer on Jurassic League.
So I was like, I will buy this. So I have it. It's in my possession. I didn't get a chance to read it this week yet, but the art looks super fun. I know he did the cover, Daniel Warren Johnson. So, but yeah, if it's half as fun as Jurassic League, I'm in for a treat.
Yeah, because he also did that Black Label Wonder Woman book a couple years ago, which I never actually read the last issue of, funnily enough, but I did like the first couple. Yeah. So that's number 9. Number 10 is Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood. So there's that. A lot of DC kind of just sneaking outside of the top 10 though, because number 11 is Batgirls, number 13 is Wonder Woman, number 14 is Young Justice Targets, issue 1. Number 15 is Jurassic League. So a lot of DC just outside the top 10. And they had 4 slots in the top 10, so not too bad. They had 4, Marvel had 5, and then do a power bomb sneaking in to get in the slot.
So I didn't realize this is Daniel Warren Johnson doing the art in the story.
Okay.
The only thing he's not doing is coloring it, but he's lettering it and all of that. But the solicit on it is Lona Stillrose, who wants to be a pro wrestler but lives in the shadow of her mother's success before her. But everything changes when a wrestling-obsessed necromancer asks Lona to join the grandest and most dangerous pro wrestling tournament of all time. So it seems like they're bringing wrestlers back from the dead.
So it also says a little Mortal Kombat as well.
A little bit. And so, yes, thank you, Andrew, at my shop, if you're listening, for throwing this in. Yeah. I mean, hey, I've wasted worse money on comics before than $4. So on stuff like, I have a whole batch of New 52 things that I need to get rid of. Yeah.
Oh, I'll bet. But there you go. That is the ComiXology top 10 for the week. So thank you everyone for enjoying your favorite segment. Now we can move on to Solicits. September Solicits. We got a whole host of things to work through here. Now, while I do know 1 or 2 things just from Twitter, I actually haven't looked at these yet, so this is going to be a journey of discovery.
Yep.
As we look through these. So kicking it off is Batman issue 127. Obviously it's like, I think, Chip's 3rd issue.
Yep.
So cool. Looking at the covers here. Oh, that double covers very nice. It's like Batman in the sewer and he's injured. Very pretty. To be fair, there's a lot of nice covers here. Now I'm skimming through them all, but yeah. So
my covers won't load, so this is fun. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you'll just have to imagine the fire, Matt. So that's cool. We got Batman versus Robin issue 1. This is the Mark Waid book that's spinning out of World's Finest, which
so I thought this was just when I heard about it was just a story in World's Finest.
No. It's
an actual wow. Oh man, the artist. It's a Strar.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
More Mark Waid at DC is always exciting. So we'll have a look, see when it comes out naturally. Yeah, a bunch of covers here. There's one that's the demon. Was it Neza?
Yeah. Demon. I think it's Naza, but whatever.
Like Huzzah, Naza. Yeah. Okay.
Huzzah.
There's also a fun cover with Batman. Sort of. I think he's on the top of Man-Bat, and there's a big Robin symbol in the sky behind him. It's a really pretty cover.
I feel like you're messing with me because I can't see them.
No, I'm being honest here. It's very nice. It's a very nice cover. This is a lot of covers actually. There's one that's just a lot of Robin, like throwing stars getting thrown at Batman. That's also not bad.
What are those called? Wingdings? Oh, those are Nightwings. Robin had a name for his.
Yeah, it's just the R's that he throws. So it's like a
Yeah,
batarang, but an R. Yeah.
right, but they're shurikens, but there's like a name for it.
Yeah. Then we got Batman One Bad Day, Two-Face issue 1. This is the Tamaki and Fernandez one shot.
Aha, there they are.
One of the... Oh, you're getting covers now?
Yep.
All of them are just like this one?
No, no. I can only see the first one. I go to click to see the other one, and they disappear again. This is great. I love my computer. There they go. Wow, that solid one's scary.
Oh yeah,
he is Man Bat or some bat demon.
I mean, it could not be Man Bat, but it's Man Bat-esque by the looks of it.
Yes.
So yes, that's probably one of the better or more interesting One Bad Day pairs, I think, is the Two-Face one. Yeah,
Fernandez, that cover. I need this cover as a poster as the Two-Face fan. That is fantastic.
Yeah, sure. And then we got Harley Quinn 30th anniversary special issue 1. So she's getting one of these 100-page specials with all the short stories with a big host of people on it.
Hey, do you see a name in there that's very noteworthy?
Oh, I see Cedric. Yeah. Very good. And that's in the writer list as well, notably.
And the artist. So
I mean, I assumed he was in the artist list, but
so it's but it wouldn't surprise me if because we all know he hasn't been working on much. I haven't seen much even independent work from Cedric. That if he just turned in a Harleen story and had someone else draw it, but it looks like we're getting a full. So man, this might be worth it just to have that piece of Harleen, if that's what it is.
Worth the price to get, maybe. Worth reading all the other stories, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, we do have Amanda Connor and Palmiotti who did a long stint on the character. And you have Paul Dini, who's one of the main writers, creators. So a lot of recognizable names that have worked on.
Yeah. Harley. I can't say I like the idea. I mean, I'm sick of these one shots anyway, and I still read most of them, but I can't say I'd be in for a Harley Quinn one. I'm just.
Oh man, that Dotson's one's fun, or the Adam Hughes one. That's a fun cover.
Oh, is that the one with all the other versions of Harley coming out of her head? Yeah.
Yep. It's cool.
Yeah, not bad.
But yeah, that's good for Harley. I've turned a corner on Harley where I thought tired of her trying to be DC's Deadpool. And then they gave her a character arc that I really enjoy. And, that Harleen book did a whole lot of goodwill. So, her's the anti-hero I think fits her. So.
Yeah. Then we have Tim Drake Robin issue 1. And this is very interesting. So, Tim Drake's getting an ongoing book.
Yep.
Megan Fitzmartin is writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Connor will be delighted to know that the art is by Riley Rosmo.
Oh, no. Oh, that's just mean.
Wait, did you not know this?
I did not know this. I knew they were getting a Tim Drake book.
Oh,
I
dear.
did not know Rosmo was the artist.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I also have to say that first cover, I don't think it's the main cover, but that first cover there, I think Tim looks really weird. Like he's got this sort of weird face going on, but
he has a Joker chin.
Yeah, he looks like a Joker and dressed up as Tim Drake. But yeah, so I mean, Tim Drake's finally getting ongoing, but
that's good.
Unfortunately, it's an artist that is kind of like kryptonite to most of us, but.
Yeah. Beloved Harley Quinn artist, it says in there. If you insist, Solicits.
Beloved.
If you insist. That Jimenez cover is fantastic. It's him sitting there on the
bat
kebab. Yeah.
I didn't even notice that's what he had. Yeah, he's got a kebab in his hand. Very good. No one holds a kebab like a taco, though. Come on.
I would know. I've never had one.
They're too dense and they fall apart if you try and pick it up like a sandwich.
So is it like a gyro? Is it like it's just like a wrap?
It's not a wrap. It's a pita bread, but it's usually at least here they're usually packed so dense with stuff that you can't pick it up and just eat it like a sandwich. You have to
eat it with a fork.
Yeah.
That's we go to a pita place and they do gyros like that. So yeah, you can't. I tried to pick it up like a taco and it just ends up being a mess.
Doesn't work.
Put it in your hummus. It's just not good.
Dark Crisis issue 4. Not much needs to be said here, really. But we like the first issue, so
Yeah.
hoping for good stuff.
Yeah. Well, those covers are fun. I like that one.
Well, the Deathstroke one's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, I like that Wonder Girl one's pretty nice. So
yeah. Then we got Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League Wonder Woman issue 1. So this is the month's one shot with these tie-ins. This is Tini Howard writing with Leela Del Duca on the art. So yeah, we'll see how that is.
Looks like she's back to being a Valkyrie. So this is almost like if it was in that, when she went to the sphere of the gods, it seems. So looks cool.
Which is not the most exciting thing for me to hear, but I mean,
no, but it's a one shot, so we'll see.
Dark Crisis Young Justice issue 4. This is the miniseries that's run alongside the main book. Megan Fitzmartin is the writer on this, and I'm only pointing that out because that's also who's doing the Tim Drake book. So
yeah, almost seems like that might be a lead-in kind of. That cover, that's not a good haircut for my boy Connor. Not feeling that. I really showed his Luther side there. But that Cassie cover's nice.
That's all right. Yeah, not bad. Flash 786 is next. So this is actually this is like after the 3-part that ties into Dark Crisis. So this is back to just being the Wally book. Anyway, you got all the family on the cover there, which is quite nice because I do like the book focusing on that side of things. So
yeah,
that's very nice. Looks like Green Lantern might be involved in this as well. Hal Jordan seems to be on one of the covers.
Yeah, that's looks like. Yeah, I'm trying to go through the other ones, but the arrow disappeared, so I think at the end, I used to just do a circle. I don't know what's going on with it today, but yeah. I'm hoping on art too, so that should be good.
Yeah, there we go. Deceased World of the Undead Gods, issue 2. Obviously, this is the big trilogy ender to the Deceased saga. So, very cool.
They have an X-Men homage cover. I love it. I'm gonna have to get that cover.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, that font and the sort of the angle of the text is very X-Men.
Yeah, Mary Marvel, and it looks like Barda, and Wonder Woman, and Flash. So.
Yeah. Pretty neat. We got Superman Warworld Apocalypse issue 1. So this is a special one shot to sort of mark the end of the Warworld saga. So that's kind of cool that it gets a big finale like this. Art by Brandon Peterson and Will Conrad. So it'll be interesting to see how separate it feels because it's a shame that we might not have the regular artist for the finale potentially here. So I wonder if this is more of an epilogue, but it does say it's all led to the final battle, so maybe that does sound like it's the ending.
Yeah, it sounds like this might just be the big end capper, the Omega issue, if you will.
Yeah, which is cool. I
think Brandon Peterson did the House of L art in those, what was that, in the Future State stories? And that art was pretty good, so... I mean... but I get what you're feeling.
It is nice though that we'll get the regular issue of action, and then this will come quite soon after it. So it'll feel like a nice big sort of quick finish to the thing. That other cover though with Superman and Mongol fighting looks really nice.
It's really good, but then the looks like a pulp novel cover. So it's the last one on here. It has the ridges.
I think that's the main. That's the main cover, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. It is fantastic. Distress cover variant, but by Steve Beach. I wonder how much upsell that'll be, because this is the cover I'm gonna want.
The head to body proportions are a little bit weird, but I do like the main cover, which is the planet above Superman with the lightning, or whatever it is. Very nice.
Yeah, looks really cool.
Actually, Comics 1047, unsurprisingly next. I do not like that first cover it's showing me.
No.
What is with those faces?
It looks like, have you seen those? They've been going around Twitter. Well, they'll put the like a phrase into AI, and they'll try to make. That's kind of what it reminded me of. Where it's like it's not bad, but it's Uncanny Valley, right? Like they're not flawed enough. They're too smooth.
Yeah, the second cover I like a lot more. I mean, Superman looks a lot more old school face wise than he usually does.
Yeah.
It looks more like it looks like a George Reeve era Superman, but
Yeah.
it's a very nice cover though. Otherwise, so this is cool. So this is actually, is this the post War World issue?
It is.
Yeah. So this is after the big
aftermath.
finale. Yeah. That's cool, and this is a countdown to it kicks off the countdown to Action Comics 1050, which I feel like they might make a big deal about.
I feel they will too.
Probably.
Yeah, as long as Johnson's staying on after War World, I'll be happy. That's all I want.
Yeah, he seems to be at least.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 1000.
At least a 1050. Yeah, right.
Yeah, 1050 could be like the transition issue potentially if he is moving on, but we'll see. I hope he's got a whole other a thing after Saga where he's got like a whole other saga to do. Yeah. I'd be more than happy with that.
That second one that you brought up, he looks like George Reeves. That's what I feel about all of everyone feels a little bit off. Lex, and it looks like is that supposed to be Mongol or Darkseid?
I think it's supposed to be Darkseid.
Yeah, and Jimmy, it all feels a little bit off, which is kind of. I mean, I feel like that's what they're going for, but
yeah. It is a neat looking cover though. Like from an art perspective, I think it looks quite cool. But
I think that's the same artist that did the War World cover we were talking about. Yeah, Steve Beach. That we liked. Okay. So it's cool.
Batman Hush issue 1 Batman Day special. So it's just a cheap version of Hush. Well, it's
always keeping this in print.
Well, I say Hush. It's Batman 608.
It's
not,
the first. Yeah, it's the first Hush.
Yeah, so it's the first issue of that arc. Okay, cool. Batman's Mystery Casebook, Batman Day. So I guess Batman Day is in September, if this wasn't obvious by now. Then Flashpoint Beyond issue 5, so that is issue 5 of 6. So we'll see what sort of train wreck we're getting to by that point.
I'm seeing Captain Cold on the cover here, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, see, yeah. Close up of the eye, not bad. DC Horror presents Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. This is what we talked about last week. Bruce Campbell writing. Bizarre, but very cool.
Rizzo on art. I am so here for this.
The Human Target issue 7, super exciting. Human Target's back in September.
Yeah.
And would you believe it? It has some fantastic covers to grace us with.
Tom King showed out that first cover, and I couldn't help myself. I had to share it back out. I hope they put together a portfolio kind of thing with all of these covers when it's all done, because Smallwood's killing it. These pulpy, homage kind of covers, or sending me, as the kids say.
Even that second cover with Fire and Ice with the target kind of over everyone looks really good as well. There's a lot of good stuff going on here.
Is that that's Art Germ?
No, that's the third one, is it not?
Oh, is it third? Is that him? Oh, that is.
Yeah, the third one.
That's Matina. Is the one the second one.
Yeah, that looks
I make
right.
the mistake of reading these in order, so I figure Smallwood's 1, variant covers is Art Germ.
The order the covers are in does not correlate the order of the names in the solicit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but all those covers.
Yeah, I haven't realized that was Matina, but surprise, I like a Matina cover.
Right.
Dark Knights of Steel, Tales from the Three Kingdoms, issue 1. This is a 48-page one-shot. I guess it's just an extra tie-in with some different stories and set in the world of Dark Knights of Steel. So we got one story seemingly by Tom Taylor, one by Jay Kristoff, and one by C.S. Pacat. Art by Nathan Gooden and others, so they've not maybe finalized the art yet. But
so stories to find Bruce, Sala, and Kal-El. So
that Wonder Woman on the Pegasus cover is very, very, very pretty. That's Dan. Is that Dan Mora?
I don't know.
No, it must be one of the other two, because there's the one in 25 and 150. It doesn't look like Dan Mora. I'm sure Dan Mora's cover's good too. Yeah, Dan Mora's the one that's like the little Batman kid with the sword.
Yeah,
that's
I was
Dan
gonna
Mora.
say that has to be. That's the only one that feels like Mora.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know who did the Wonder Woman on the Pegasus one, but I really like that cover.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell about the next one, Matt, while I let the cat?
Gotcha. So next up, Batman: The Audio Adventures #1 by Dennis McNicholas, art by Anthony Marquise and J-Bone. So I remember hearing about this. They on HBO Max, they were doing. It's like a radio drama. So it seems like, oh no, this is a sequel to that. It says, "Don't touch that dial." Picking up right after the season finale of the award-winning podcast Batman: The Audio Adventures continues a new 7-issue miniseries. A string of attacks is by Gotham City underbelly, sending criminals into a panic. But it's not Batman who's striking the heart of the city, but a group of mysterious assailants on the hunt for an ancient artifact. As Batman hunts down these assassins, he finds clues that keep drawing him to the true goal, the Sword of King Scimitar. This is my kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a 7-issue mini. That main cover's quite nice. It's like Batman on a radio tower.
It looks like the old RKO logo. Yeah, the radio signal's going out. Yeah, this seems fun. I might have to catch up on that podcast. Do I have it? I'm gonna look real quick.
Yeah. I mean,
look at me going out finding more Batman. I hate this.
Yeah, I've not listened to it, but I might try the comic when it comes out. I mean, yeah, well, why not? I guess. Next up, Batman Nightwatch issue 1. What's this book? Is this an animated tie-in thing or something? After a massive breakout at Arkham Asylum, Batman and his team are on a mission to bring all the escapees back. First in the list is Clayface. Using social media, Batgirl taps into the informal network to track the villain throughout the city. This inspires Penny One to create a more organized network of informants and spies called Nightwatch. Okay. It's only 2.99, so this does feel like a more younger skewing book, because if you look at the cover, the art just feels a bit more.
Yeah, it looks like the animated series era Batmobile in there.
Yeah,
cool.
And Batgirl's in her like Burnside outfit, so this is definitely not necessarily. Yeah. You know, in fact, even Batman's in his.
Looks like his ink costume with the gold around the logo.
I guess I would have said it's more early Rebirth, just without the purple cape.
Yeah,
because it's just a gold trim around it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird one, that, but it's a 5-issue miniseries anyway, so very cool. Black Adam, the Justice Society Files, Atom Smasher issue 1. We knew these one shots were coming. They're building up to the release of the movie. This one is by Kevin Scott and Brian Q. Miller, which obviously I'm excited to see that name. Give him an ongoing DC. Thank you. But art by Travis Mercer and Marco Santucci. I mean, I actually quite like that main cover. Looking up at the giant Atom Smasher. Kind of neat.
Yeah, I love Atom Smasher as a character. It makes me miss the JSA.
Yeah. Titans United Blood Pact issue 1. This is a 6-issue miniseries that's starting. Written by Kevin Scott and art by Lucas Meyer. The Titans are back, united against the common foe, aren't they? All seems lost when Tim Drake wakes out of uniform and seemingly out of time. Surely he was just fighting alongside Nightwing, Superboy, Starfire, Beast Boy, and Donna Troy. But where is Raven, and what links her to the Fearsome Five? A blood sacrifice is coming that will change the world forever.
Oh, no.
So this is like
I think it's a sequel to that. What was that? Titans Hunt.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Kevin Scott did that one too.
What's weird is it's like a mashup of the new Teen Titans and like the John's era
Justice.
Teen Titans. Yeah. Interesting mix. Okay, that's cool. Shazam Thundercrack. This is 160 pages. This is one of the young adult graphic novels.
This looks fun. I like Taki Tani.
Yeah, art and written by Yehudi Mercado. Apologies if I'm butchering that, but I think I got that right.
I think you got it pretty on there.
Yeah. So, yeah, cool. I guess.
It says that it's set in the movie timeline.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it says it's set within the movie timeline, showing Freddy's vlog with superhero training montages, family pranks, and a new gig he took to monitor Billy's football practices. And the cheerleading squad really needed a new mascot. So I see the crutch on there. So he's in the tiger uniform.
Okay.
Well, that could be fun.
Okay. We got Catwoman Lonely City. Obviously, this has been coming out. The final issue is coming out in August. So they're soliciting the trade of issues 1 to 4. It'll be 208 pages. I'm sure this will be a very nice hardcover. Because it's a very pretty book. Batman Shadow War trade coming out. Obviously, is basically the alpha through the Omega issue with all the 2 issues of all the other stuff. Shadow Warzone one shot is in there as well, which is fine for completion's sake.
Yeah,
it'll slow right down though when you get to that part of the book, but you know,
screech to a halt.
So this is a 300-page hardcover, so it's a meaty little book. So that's cool. DC poster portfolio, George Perez. 42-page poster portfolio. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What's the dimensions on this? Is this quite big? 12 by 16.
12 by 16, so pretty big.
Yeah, that's much bigger than
a regular
comic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Most of my poster prints I get from Con that are those kind of medium-sized ones are 14 by 17. So this is a little bit smaller than that, but not by much.
Yeah. Oh, it's just because you obviously they're charging like a trade paperback price for just 42 pages. I'm assuming the pages are nice and big and whatever. So
yeah, so you can really get into the detail.
All right, Harley Quinn issue 22. Connor will be excited to see that because Rosmo's on another book, it means that we've got a different artist on this. Matteo Lolli is the artist on this Harley Quinn issue.
For Connor, it really was a monkey paw, wasn't it?
Yeah, he finally got Rosmo off Harley, but onto the character he's been like dreaming of getting a book for years. There's a Dark Knight Returns homage cover here where it's like Harley's inserted onto it, which is amusing.
Which I think is the Ryan Sook one, which that looks like a lot of fun.
I have to assume that from an artist point of view, that just adding the Harley silhouette to that is probably the easiest like cover he's ever drawn, probably.
Yeah.
But
I like to think he draws the whole thing still, though.
And it just colors it in.
Yeah.
Maybe. So then we got Detective Comics 1064. So yeah, we're looking forward to Ram V's debut next month.
Whoever that villain is terrifying me.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The main cover's got like a musical notes made out of skulls and bones, which is kind of neat.
Oh, that is real cool. I like that.
Yeah. It's a cool little thing. Then we got Action Comics issue 1 facsimile edition.
Oh.
They have to have done this before, right? This is not the first.
I don't think they have.
They haven't?
I think the one guy I follow on Twitter that has the comic shop, I'm drawing a name, drawing a blank on him, is like, I don't think, he said he doesn't think they've ever done an Action #1 facsimile. That wasn't like a part where this is just the Action Comics 1.
Yeah.
They've done like reprints and trades and stuff, but yeah, no, I'll definitely be getting this.
Oh yeah, it's been in tons of Golden Age collections, but you would just think this would be the first one they'd do.
Yeah.
It's literally the birth of DC Comics in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not actually, but you know what I mean.
No, but of the era that we recognize.
You know, it's the first issue of Superman, who's the first modern superhero. You know?
Right.
So it's but hey, there you go. Aquaman Andromeda issue 3, super excited. I'm a little hurt that it's going to take till September to get the 3rd issue.
Yeah.
So it's every other month, obviously. But really loved that first issue, so super excited to get this final one.
Yep.
So very cool. That main cover is gorgeous. Batgirls issue 10. Neil Googe on the art for this one. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Corona's still doing the cover, which is cool, but yeah.
Maybe Googe is just a fill-in.
Well, no, because there's a different artist on the issue I'm talking about today as well. It's not Corona.
Shoot.
So I think Corona's off the book.
Dang.
I don't know if Googe might still be a fill-in for the new artist.
Right.
But I mean, we'll see. But yeah. So Steph has a date with an actual boy. Okay, that sounds amusing. So that's cool. Batman Beyond Neo Year issue 6. So that's wrapping up with its final issue. We have Batman Beyond the White Knight issue 5. We have Batman Fortress issue 5. Did you ever go back and read that first issue?
I did not, because you didn't give me inspiration.
I just want to hear someone else tell me I'm not crazy. And it's actually as bad as I thought it was, but
okay.
Everyone else is like been scared off for reading it.
Did Connor not read it?
No.
Of course.
I think he had a lot of books to catch up on, so he ended up like he had to read like 3 issues of every book he had that week.
Gotcha.
Batman the Night issue 9.
Finally getting to Roz proper. That's exciting.
Yeah, this is a 9 of 10, so this is the penultimate issue. So very cool. Batman Urban Legends issue 19. What have we got here? You got Brandon Thomas, Brandon Easton, Chris Burnham, Zach Thompson, and Joey Esposito.
Oh, Joey.
Amongst the writers, yeah. And then amongst the arts, you got Alberto Jimenez Albuquerque. All 3 of the names are his.
Yeah.
Will Robson, Chris Burnham, Hayden Sherman, and Mikel Yannin on the art.
Imagine being Alberto Jimenez Albuquerque and you get the name. We're getting Jimenez Albuquerque to do the art.
I know.
You're like,
sounds like 2
both
other
of
artists.
them? Oh, that's one guy. Oh, what has his career been like?
I hope for his sake his art's pretty good, because otherwise he's going to be compared to 2 of the greats. Batman Superman World's Finest issue 7. Yeah, I keep forgetting this is an ongoing. I keep thinking it's going to say final issue, but it's not going. This is the start of a new story arc, actually. So this is the untold story of Superman's short-lived sidekick is at last revealed. But what secret connection to one of DC's most timeless tales does this story foreshadow? Only time will tell. So this is Mark Waid playing with DC continuity a little bit again. So
introducing Boy Thunder.
I think it's interesting that he's wearing very Lex Luthor colors, to be honest.
Very Lex Luthor colors. It's also very Legion. Like the name, like Boy Thunder. So that's where only time will tell. So I'm wondering if this is a Legionnaire come back from the future.
Yeah.
So
I kind of like that second cover as well. It's the one that's Batman and Superman at the top, and it's like the statue with like Gotham and Metropolis at the bottom. I kind of like that.
It looks like an old movie cover, an old poster.
I wouldn't say I love their faces. It's the only thing giving me pause. But I love how the texture of everything and how it
love the texture, and I love that the scales of justice split Metropolis and Gotham. Along these clean lines of day and night. Back to the old adage that the early DC treated Metropolis and Gotham as the same city, just one in day and one in night. So that's pretty cool. But no, that's a very nice cover.
Very nice. Black Adam issue 4, Christopher Priest's book. Well, obviously it's not quite started yet, so we don't have any opinions on it. But it's a very nice cover though. That first one. I think it's a variant. I don't think it's the main cover, or maybe it is the main cover. I don't know. It's hard to tell. There's a lot of covers, but the
demon. Yeah,
I don't know. But I don't know if we know who that character is necessarily.
It must be.
It's a white Shazam suit with a red cape.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who that is. Maybe it's a new character that's introduced in the book, or maybe it's like, I don't know. But
it's his youthful successor. Meanwhile, Adam is dispatched Etrigan, an unlikely ally, to either train his youthful successor or kill him.
So he's got a new
it looks like it's
protege.
Legacy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna call him Black Adam Jr. Like we have Captain or Shazam Jr. He used to be Captain Marvel Jr. That
may be what it is. I don't know. We'll find out. Blood Syndicate Season 1 Issue 5. So that's coming up.
That's milestone, I believe. Yeah.
Catwoman Issue 47, Tini Howard, Nico Leon still going. The covers are still great for this, but it does have that character that I instantly hated in that first issue.
we both did not like. So, although that Tila Lote cover, those colors.
Some very pretty covers, no denying that. DC versus Vampires Issue 9.
Here we go.
Yeah. 9 of 12. So, those right. You've got Supergirl and... who's that? Is that...
I'm going to say that's Cass. Is it a Cass or Huntress, based on the hair and the color combos?
Could be Huntress. I was almost had to say Harper, maybe?
Yeah. Well, Huntress is on the other cover.
Yeah, she is. You're right. Yeah, Huntress.
Or it could be Jaina, too, because it's purple.
And she's on the third cover. Yeah. Okay, so they've given us 2 purple-related characters that were confused. And obviously, along with that is DC versus Vampires All Out War Issue 3, which is the mini that's running alongside the last half of the book.
Yep.
So That's Matthew Rosenberg with Alex Packnadell. Was he on the? Did he have a co-writer in the previous issues? I don't remember him doing.
I don't remember.
I don't think he did. I think this is maybe a new thing. The
Blood Farm.
But all cool, all cool. But yeah, there's a Starfire cover. Then a Dead Man cover. Yeah.
Hey.
We got DC Mech issue 3. This is the robot equivalent to the Jurassic League, which we're hoping will be good, but we'll find out. We'll find out indeed.
No variants to show. So I wanted to see the Dan Moore variant, but there it is.
I can see them, but
yeah.
Gosh, then we got Deathstroke Inc. issue 13. Ed Brisson writing with Dexter Soy on art. So it's cool. That first cover there is quite good. It's Deathstroke reaching for his helmet. It's a very nice cover. Right, that red cover as well is quite nice.
That is sinister.
Yeah. Even the third cover is still pretty good. The Deathstroke King's got a lot of good covers for issue 13. Yeah, not bad. Duo issue 5. The Greg Pak Maelstone book. So you can see that. Fables issue 155. Future State Gotham issue 17.
Still going.
Still not final issue. This is defying the odds. I Am Batman issue 13. Coming out. And then we got Looney Tunes issue 268. Multiversity Teen Justice issue 4.
I did start reading this, and it was pretty good. I might just wait and knock it all out, but they're doing a Sister Blood story, the Church of Blood. Which I'm always a fan of that. The Titans versus, the Church of Blood. So, but the voices on the characters was real nice. Seems like the Robin here is a Damian version. So they were her name was Talia in this one. So we'll see how that ends up. It makes you wonder if Talia's Batwoman. I don't know how that Earth works, but yeah, it seems pretty fun.
Yeah, interesting. We got Nightwing issue 96, obviously highlight of the month every month. But yeah, so it seems to be dealing with some Dick and Babs relationship stuff, going by the description and cover.
The Brady Bunch cover is great.
Yeah, there's also one where it's Dick bursting through, kind of like that original Batman cover where he's bursting through the thing, but it's like all of his Bat family kind of on the behind him. Not too shabby.
No.
Yeah. More about Dick and Babs later today. In fact. So very cool. And Richard Dondo's on this issue, so that's good. Good to see. Nubia, Queen of the Amazons issue 4. This is the final issue of this miniseries. This is the Stephanie Williams written book with Aletha Martinez and Mark Morales on art. We have Poison Ivy issue 4.
Yep.
Wait, is this an ongoing?
So it seems like.
I'm not seeing. I'm sure I've probably asked this every solicit. This is shown up in.
Yeah.
I keep expecting it's a mini, but it's not. All right, well, cool. And I'm sure there's Poison Ivy always seems to get nice covers.
Yep.
I think because they know that all the weirdos who like her are the perverts who'll.
Hi, it's me.
Buy the covers. Her and Harley get all the perverted covers.
Yep.
Superman Son of Kal-El issue 15. Yeah. Cian Tormey still in art, so it's consistent with what's going on right now. So very nice. We got Superman Space Age issue 2. This is the Mark Russell 3-issue prestige 80-page.
Yeah, with Mike Allred on the art.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about this. I assume this wasn't in the last solicits, but the first issue was maybe like 2 months ago solicits.
It was.
Yeah. And that's why I don't remember it as well. But very neat. Very neat. It'd be nice if that comes out in a quiet week. At least the first one, to give it a try anyway. Sword of Azrael issue 2, Dan Waters' book, issue 2 of 6.
Vengeance. That's the Bane clone, right? That showed up in Joker.
yeah, the Lady Bane, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's hard on the cover.
I'm excited for this. I like Dan Waters. And I'm gonna butcher the same. Shomeja art is pretty good.
I think it's the Middleton cover. It looks really nice. It's just like it's Azrael, but with the mask on and just like with the sword. Yeah.
Yeah, like the old, like he's wearing an actual suit of armor.
Yeah.
Well,
that's quite nice. So yeah, all 12 Azrael fans can rejoice. You've got Azrael mini coming. So very good. Task Force Z issue 12, the final issue of Task Force Z. They're teasing big things. 12. Yeah, very good. So we'll see how that wraps up. Jurassic League issue 5, the penultimate issue of that, coming in September. So very good. The new Champion Shazam issue 2. This is the Josie Campbell and Doc Shaner, Mary Marvel 4-issue mini. This is issue 2 of that. So excited to get to this. I've been looking forward to this ever since it was first teased.
Yep.
So very cool. And then we got Nice House in the Lake issue 10. Not really much to say other than just it's been fantastic. And that cover is beautiful yet disgusting. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. It is one of the female characters walking into a pool of worms. Yep. And she is in a bikini. Yep. So it's disgusting. Sandman Universe Nightmare Country issue 6. So that's continuing on. Wonder Woman issue 791 is coming. It's a team that we've been used to. Although Margaret Savage is on the art as opposed to Lupacchino. So that's neat. Young Justice Targets issue 3. So that tie into the things going on. And then when we get to the trades, other than the couple they highlight in the middle for whatever reason, we have American Vampires 1976 getting collected, which is interesting because obviously we know that they're starting the omnibus line for this as well. So you'll have the options for how to collect this depending on what you want. Aquaman Green Arrow Deep Targets getting collected. Batgirls Volume 1 with the first 6 issues. Also has the backups from Batman 115 to 117, which makes sense. You know, if I remember what I think I remember what those are in my head, so that makes sense. Although, if you'd asked me to say what was that in, I would have guessed Detective, but I mean, I'm probably just misremembering. Yeah, I would have said the same thing. I'm sure they're right. I'm sure it's the right things. Book of Magic Omnibus Volume 3. And they're billing this Sandman Universe Classics, these books that they're collecting. This is a bunch of miniseries, and actually that's way more than that. It's got 2 miniseries and then a 25-issue series and then a 15-issue series. So it's quite a hefty book, 1,200 pages. So I'm sure people don't drop it on your foot. Oh yeah, I'm sure people who love the Sandman Universe stuff are salivating at all these big collections it's getting. Soul Plumber's getting a trade, so cool. It's a hardcover, I should say. It's getting a hardcover treatment. Grayson the Super Spy Omnibus getting a reprint. So I do appreciate them reprinting their omnibuses. Makes it more easy to get into it later down the line if you don't have to worry that you're there day one for everything. So that's cool. Refrigerator Full of Heads getting a hardcover. I have to pick that up. Tales of the Amazons, which is kind of a hodgepodge of things. It's got Artemis Wanted issue 1, Olympus Rebirth issue 1, Nubia Coronation Special issue 1, along with stories from Wonder Woman 781 to 784. So I assume that's the backups, and then stories from Wonder Woman 80th Anniversary 100-page spectacular. Which probably put in. This is all the setup for the War of the Amazons. Yeah, that sounds like trial. That sounds like a real mix of just random things that didn't fit anywhere else to me. But it's got a Nicola Scott cover, so that's. I mean, that's cool, yeah, and she's pretty nice. And she's drawing all the main characters, which is cool. But yes, but unless you're just like a Wonder Woman completionist who reads everything in trade and wants to make sure you get everything, this is a really hard sell to me. Yeah. So, cool. Teen Titans Academy Volume 2, Exit Wounds. Yeah, have it. The Joker Volume 1 trade paperback. This is issue 1 to 5 and some other short stories. They don't even tell us what it is, just other short stories. Very good. Wonder Woman Evolution, just collecting the recent mini. And that wraps up the Solicits. So
yeah, Solicits, yay.
Yeah, there wasn't really a lot of new stuff there. There was a couple of weird new minis that I didn't see coming, but
it seems like Robin has shifted to Tim Drake Robin, and that's why Williamson is no longer writing that book, which, as a fan of that book, makes me a little sad.
Yeah,
it's going to a Tim Drake with Riley Rosma art, which I can say I am not reading.
I don't think we'll be lacking for Damien though.
No, and that's fine. But it's just I love the vibe of that Williamson book, and it makes you wonder what Williamson has up his sleeve next, since after Dark Crisis. He's off Batman, he's off Robin, he's not on Flash, so we'll see. Maybe he's not on Deathstroke.
Yeah, he'll be on something. Whatever comes out at the end of Dark Crisis, I'm sure he's on something. Probably a Justice League book, if I was to guess.
Yep, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So not bad. I think Damien he'll pop up in Nightwing. He'll pop up in either Batman or Detective. I think you'll be seeing plenty of Damien without worrying about it.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe they'll even announce a new Teen Titans book or something. In the near future.
Could be. Maybe if they do a Teen Titans with his little group of murderers, and he's teaching them not to murder from the island, that'd be fun.
And who knows? Maybe that'll even be Williamson doing that book.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, hey ho. All right. That is the Solicits. So we can get on to the books then for the week. So, Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue 12. Tom Taylor writing, Cian Tormey on the art, and yeah, it's some interesting stuff here. Once again, Dick Grayson appears in this issue. A lot of nice cross-pollination with Tom Taylor's books right now.
I've seen people complain about this, but for the story that he's telling in Nightwing about Dick being John's mentor, of course him going to talk to Luthor makes sense. It's billionaire to billionaire. So sometimes I feel like people just want to complain.
I would slightly correct you there and say that's not a story in Nightwing, that's a story in Superman, Son of Kal-El.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant to say. he's using Nightwing,
which makes it even more valid though, because it's this book's story that he's his mentor. Right. So yeah,
that's what I meant to say. But yeah, I've seen people complain about it. There's too much crossover, and I don't. It's not like this is impacting Nightwing at all.
No, you don't have to read Nightwing to understand what's going on here, and vice versa. So
yep.
So yeah, obviously John's frustrated because he wants to go after Bendix, but Batman's like, no, you need some proof first. You need to, do something. There's a sort of fun sequence at the start where something breaks the perimeter where the Kents are staying, and it turns out it's just crypto. So it's a false alarm, and everyone's just happy to see him.
Oh, that Bruce is like, do you know how much defenses that dog just destroyed? I love that. And Crypto's just there trying to help out. So yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, but basically they agree that they have to use Lex for info because Lex has been working with Bendix. And the plan is like not to sneak someone in, but in actual fact, Lex wants to see Dick Grayson because Dick Grayson's been making big waves with his money. So Lex wants to see him. So Dick plants a bug in Lex's office, which is kind of the big plot beat, and they listen to what's going on for the rest of the day. And they only have a day because they know that Lex probably sweeps his office for bugs like every day. So we get the rest of today, and then we can wipe it, and off we go. So it really does sound like there's a lot of world leaders who are into this the Rising and wanting to take the world back from the superheroes. And
it goes in with what the story that Taylor started in Suicide Squad, about there's the people that are in charge are doing things. I'm trying to find the right word. In the shadows to keep their power. And then that, like, with Lex kind of hints at Dick, like, hey, you're doing a little bit too much good. People are going to start thinking that's what everybody should do. And there's kind of some real world echoes there, and I just like that through line that's going through these Tom Taylor books.
Yeah, so Lex and Bendix mention a senator, not by name, but obviously they do some digging, and John comes to see the senator with Jay there with his camera and poses some questions like, you arranged the transfer of these prisoners, and this is like, what it led to, kind of thing. It just puts him on the spot right there in front of everyone, and he gets very, you know, confrontational about it, of course. He gets caught off guard. But of course, it turns out that this senator, just like the other superpowered beings, is got an implant or whatever and is controlled by Bendix. So it turns into a monster. Although it does look quite dark at first, though, because Crypto senses that he's about to change and blasts him with heat vision, and everyone's like, "What the hell? The dog just killed the senator!"
Yeah.
But then he turns into this big, like, Kraken style monster, and it's Bendix talking through him, and John's like, "Hey, I'm going to stop you, Bendix." Yada yada yada. And Bendix, he lets a lot of his sort of true colors come out here, where he's like, no one wants a half human, half alien to be our hero. Like, you're an abomination. So a lot of his prejudice starts to come out. Some of the themes of the book start to really come in.
Well, and I felt that was also not just, the stuff that's come out with John, right, is that he's bisexual. And a lot of the, not so nice takes about this. I felt that was Taylor also channeling that a little bit. Like, we've always had that Lex is when it comes to Superman, he's resentful because he's an alien. But now, John, that kind of applies, but it also applies to, his own personal life. And I feel it makes Bendix that much more dastardly when you read it through that lens. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if... I don't even think Bendis knows or cares about that, like, detail, but from a meta level, it definitely represents it to us.
Right, that's what I mean, and that's how I read it. And it's just, Taylor's very transparent about the harsh stuff that gets sent his way, and then he makes fun of it. So just knowing that that's there, seeing that, and him calling him an abomination, all this other stuff, it definitely felt like there was some meta things going on there.
Jay uses his powers to go inside the Kraken and take out the chip that's like, helping Bendix control it. And he comes out and he's like, "See, look, I saved the day for once." And John's like, "Hey, Jay, your mask." And he's like, "Oh shit!" And that's the cliffhanger: is that Jay has unwittingly revealed himself, and there's tons of the public filming his face. So now they all know that he's the one behind the truth. So that's kind of where we leave off for next issue. Very quick, brisk read, to be honest. Mostly enjoyable though. I mean, I like generally what it's doing, and the build to Bendix, and just making Bendix more of a dastardly villain is kind of nice, because it makes you hate him more,
Yeah, and to me, it also feels like he's worse than Lex, because, like, at the end of the day, Lex's issues to me always reside in jealousy of Superman and envy, whereas I feel like Bendix doesn't. He's not like that at all. He's just a power-hungry, nasty, Gamoran, whatever. So I do like that they're giving John not just his own Lex, but someone worse than Lex. So it's nice. Tormey's art, I thought his Crypto looks real good. But that monster that the Senator turns into, like, there's some great body horror stuff going on in there.
I mean, I'd say the tentacles just look sort of normal, big octopus style tentacles, but the face definitely gave me some I'd say some either Hellraiser or perhaps even like From Beyond style body horror.
Yeah, I was thinking of like Cronenberg's The Fly. Like,
a little bit of
like
Cronenberg.
when the thing gets turned inside out.
I think between all those examples, people can conjure an image if they haven't seen it.
But I thought like it went from like, oh, this looks nice, to, oh, that's icky. And that's kind of what you want when someone turns into a ghastly monster controlled by an evil president/CEO.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cian Tormey, I think, is a really solid artist, and not one that ever, like, I'm never wowed by the layouts or anything like that. They're always, very, very fine, but never like something I want to sit and like praise completely. But
yeah, it's very, very journeyman art where it gets the job done. And there are points where it stands out, and I feel like monsters are really stick out in my mind with Tormey's art. Because we had that big kaiju that came up in the last couple issues. Now you have the Tentacle Senator. And just I wonder where this is going, like what other things Taylor can throw at him to draw. So
yeah.
yeah.
How did you feel about the conversation between Dick and Lex about Alfred, and Lex talking about him?
I do like that, because it almost feels like Lex is trying to get Dick to kind of trying to get him off his not his high horse, but just it's Lex kind of sticking it to him. It's like, yeah, I always know more than you do, more than you think I do. So, but I thought it was a nice little piece, and just continues to make Alfred, that much more special.
Yeah, it's always an interesting little thing. This idea of what Lex thinks about the fact that the butler, the servant of the Wayne family, turned out to actually be a billionaire by the end, but was still operating as Alfred, and it obviously doesn't know everything about it, but like just this idea that there's something very like humbling about just how Alfred chose not to change who he was based on all this money he seemingly accumulated throughout the years. It's an interesting little detail, and I think there's this idea that Lex almost doesn't know how to respond to this sort of genuine, like, just generosity, and
because he doesn't think like that. Lex is very focused on Lex, whereas Alfred, who has his life's been in service of others, right? Like,
yeah, but even when he's talking about Dick and he's talking about how you're doing all this for your money, and he's sort of praising him, but he's kind of doing it this faint way through his teeth kind of thing.
Yeah, it's all backhanded. It's, yeah.
Like, I get the impression Lex thinks Dick's very, very naive. That's the vibe I get
like,
in that scene.
At the beginning, where he's like, you're doing all this stuff with your money, you're not going to have the money very long. It's all those, it's kind of what we hear when people talk about money in the real world. Right? Like, how come these people don't do more to help? Because then they won't have all their money. And that's how I feel about Lex. Lex will make 1 billion robots with his brand on it before he does anything of actual good. But whereas Dick's like, no, I'm going to spend it on the community.
For the record, I do believe that Lex, for the public perception that it gives him, I believe he probably spends a fortune in charities every month.
Yeah, but I feel like that's still only a drop in the bucket.
It'll be a drop in the bucket of what he actually has. But I bet he spends thousands, if not, tens of thousands on charity every month. If he has a chance to put
his name on a kid's hospital, he's doing it. Yeah.
Like, I could see him with the big check, handing it over in front of the cameras. Like, he's doing that every month. I guarantee
not his
you.
Focus, right? His focus is, I'm going to make more money for Lex Luthor, and if that means I'm putting out robots, to get blown up by Superman, then that's what I'm going to do. He'll spend his money. He'll spend way more on those robots than he will on the kids' hospital. So, but yeah, no, it's. I like the story that Taylor's telling through Dick and Lex and John, and it really makes John feel of the people, and Dick for a lesser extent too. Even though he is a billionaire, he's using that money that he inherited, because again, it's not his money, right? It's the money that Alfred left him. So it's a little bit different, but it just shows the differences between the characters, and I like that.
Yeah, it's again, a part of the mission statement of this book has been to separate, set up John and what sort of Superman he is and how he's different from his father, and I think it's still doing that up until now. So, what are you giving Superman Son of Kal-El issue 12?
I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Yeah, I'm going to go 7.5. I like it quite a bit. The only reason why I'm kind of going a little lower is because it feels like one of those issues where just by inherently what it is and what it becomes by the end, it's kind of an in-between issue. So the pacing is a little, it's not this perfectly, bow-tied issue as opposed to, there's kind of like clear parts to it. And the second half feels more about set up the next issue. The first half feels more about dealing with the last issue and kind of, I don't know. Like, anyway, there you go. Superman Son of Kal-El issue 12. Wonder Woman issue 788. Becky, Cloonan, and Michael Conrad writing with Emanuela Lupacchino on the art. So obviously we really only got half of an issue last time because the first half last time was dealing with the fallout of the crossover. Yep. This issue though goes into it a bit more. And I kind of love Dr. Psycho selling
Milk.
extra.
Yeah.
And just some of the things that come up, so it's basically affecting people and they're testing it because the guys in the bridge last issue were drinking it.
Yeah.
Some of the lines that came out of this though, like there's like protesters outside the Hall of Justice who are all influenced by this milk extra, and they're saying, "Go home, we hate Wonder Woman, she doesn't love America," blah blah, all this crap. One of the guys is holding a sign that just says "Milkman," and it really made me laugh, and I don't know why, but it did.
Because, and this is what I love them again to go with the meta, the whole idea that drinking milk makes you more manly. Like, I don't know if you've ever come across the people that use soy boy as a insult, that you drink soy milk because whatever, and it's just like a thing where it was like, wait, so you think because you drink actual milk it makes you more masculine? So just this whole idea of the toxic masculinity at play here, and it's milk. It's not just milk; it's milk extra.
Well, that's the thing. At one point in the book, Psycho even says, "This isn't just the milk for babies. This is milk for men."
Men, right. They're playing at that where it's I follow through social media a lot of like dude things, and I get a lot of ads that come across this, and I'm like, I don't want to see this. Like if it comes up on Twitter, but when you follow a lot of like strength athletes and stuff, or a lot of sports stuff, this is the stuff that gets marketed your way, and it's just like, oh, this is not your not a razor for your wife. This is a men's razor, and it's like, well, they all do the same thing. They all cut hair. What makes it more for men? Because it's blue and shaped like a certain way, and it's silly stuff. So I like that the writers here are using Wonder Woman, like the book, to show kind of how silly this is, and I feel like Dr. Psycho is the ultimate for that, because as much as we want to make fun of him, he's one of her most dangerous foes, right?
Oh yeah, but he right now, he's not as dangerous, but there's a lot of Homelander style stuff going on with him in this book right now, where he's representing a lot of the worst of toxic masculinity.
Yep.
And watching The Boys season 3 right now, like I'm seeing a lot of parallels with that.
So I had a podcast, not to go on a sidetrack of the Boys. Tell me what that opening scene you were referring to a couple weeks back.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I gotta get caught up on The Boys. Not that I want to see that, but the fact that that's how they decided to open up season 3 with that scene.
Yes, I'll just warn you, audience, that there is graphic nudity involved with the scene in question, just in case you're tempted. So just warning. Warning.
Now that I'm caught up on Stranger Things, I think I'll get through The Boys. But yes, craziness. But yeah, no, here, and then just what are they? Villainy Inc. Just that name is it's so stupid, but I love it. Like it just fits in with the overall narrative of this, and how Siegfried, right? How Siegfried plays in all this, who's like a literal Germanic Nordic like dude, right? Who's supposed to be this person that represents masculinity, but even he looks at this and is like, this is stupid, right? Because
that's a good point, yeah.
Right, and that he Steve brings some of that milk so they can they can look at what is in it, they can analyze it, and Siegfried's like, oh, milk, no, that's not. We're gonna drink mead, and he's just this dude that I don't know. Whatever Psycho is peddling, it's not what Siegfried represents, and I like that. I feel like that's gonna come in to play soon about who Siegfried is as this medieval warrior.
Yeah, you've also got kind of this weird like friendship forming with those two, which is kind of amusing. It keeps calling the TV the enchanted viewing glass.
Yeah.
So and he ends up running to Etta and Steve when this protest is going on, and they go down there to try and sort it out. Wonder Woman's feeling really conflicted before Superman and others leave because she's seeing these protests. She's feeling kind of out of it. I will say I got a little confused with the book at one point here because there's like a fake Wonder Woman. There's a one of the reflective Wonder
dupes.
Yeah. And at first I wasn't sure if it was telling me that the Wonder Woman we've seen up until this point in the book, in this issue, I mean, was the fake Wonder Woman. But then after the glass Wonder Woman, stirs up some stuff and sets off the explosion in the milk truck, which is there.
Right.
Real Wonder Woman's clearly there helping people move around. So I was like, oh, that's. I think it's just a transition thing. I think when it transitioned to the reflective one, and because Cisco says to her, what was it? I think he says something like, "They're railed up and might think you're the real Wonder Woman." That made me think that the one who already walked out was her. That said, though, now that I'm looking at it, you can see both of them in one of the panels. So to be fair, the evidence is there to clearly show. But
the dupe also, you have to look real closely to see how it's different than our Diana. So there, but I feel like the confusion was kind of the point here.
Yeah,
whereas, maybe. You're supposed to also get lost in the chaos.
I mean, I think it does make it obvious, not just because of the crack on the face, but because of the the coloring's just a bit more muted on the fake one.
Right. But I also feel like Cisco treating the dupe the way he does might come into play as well. The way that he talks to her and just uses her as a
not just her, because quite soon after that, as Dr. Poison shows up, and this is a member of Villainy Inc., but it's a female member, and given all the toxic masculinity that's going on in the group and like everything Psycho's kind of like preaching right now, when she doesn't completely succeed in her mission, she tries to take Steve and take Siegfried's her main target, I think, but when this doesn't go well and she ends up losing. Psycho chews her out and kind of like says, "Oh, of course, they sent a woman to do the job," and things like that. That's not the exact line, but it's that sentiment.
But it's the sentiment there that he's such a, of course he's not getting his hands dirty, right? He wasn't there.
Of course,
he has nothing but criticisms for her. So
I do wonder if that's going to blow up in his face down the line.
I feel like it has to down the line. And the fact like they managed to get Steve with something, but they can't get Siegfried because of his, where he's from, right? He's from he's
got superhuman
Valhalla.
Skin, so the needle just didn't go into him,
Right, it breaks off.
Yeah, Diana goes into like a civilian mode. She's got like her fancy pantsuit on. But they're sort of reviewing who's part of this villainous team. They realize Calculus is on the team, which I actually kind of love. This Calculus, like running the odds of their success and all that. It's like, oh, there's a 98% chance that we're going to succeed here, and this and that. I actually kind of like this. And then there's kind of this tease of who Psycho's actually answering to, because he picks up the phone and we get this, like sort of red kind of evil looking text, and the speech bubbles. Saying, been pleased with your performance, and I've sent you a gift as a result. And the cliffhanger is Psycho opening his present, which looks like a coffin, and it looks like a duplicate of Siegfried.
Yeah,
it's called Dolus. Yeah,
which I'm sure is I forgot to look this up. I got busy this week. Give me the spelling, because my iPad's taking forever to
It's just DOLOS. So is this actually a thing from mythology that...
I think so.
Yeah, okay, that makes some sense. Maybe this is like how they're going to take out Siegfried, is they're going to have someone who matches his abilities. Right. Makes a lot of sense. But just the image of him on a little footstool that he steps on so he can break open the casket is actually really funny to me.
So Dolus is the Greek god of trickery. The master of cunning, deception, craftiness, and treachery. Is an apprentice of Prometheus, the Titan, and companion of Zudea, which is lies. His female counterpart is Apate, who's the goddess of fraud and deception. Please give me these other ones now, because it feels like that's what Psycho's using to sway people, right? It's fraud and it's deception. And maybe that's what part of Dolos is it does look like Siegfried, right? Because that's what you were getting, the vibes you were getting from it. But
yeah, it looked like he was wearing the same outfit anyway. I mean, maybe he's not meant to be identical, but I certainly was
similar enough
that
it causes deception.
I was getting like his match kind of vibes from it anyway.
Yeah.
No, solid fun issue. Obviously, Lupacchino's art is on point. You know, Lupacchino's always a solid artist.
Yep. I've always feel like Lupacchino's art goes with the coloring. That if you get the coloring just right, it really pops. Because I always feel Lupacchino's one of my favorite artists, so I'm always gonna like her work. And here I feel like the colors really went because it's a lot of pinks and reds and oranges throughout, really cementing the whole danger aspect of it.
It's an issue that I think gives us a lot more of everyone but Wonder Woman, because I think you get a lot of good Steve and Siegfried stuff, you get a lot of good Dr. Psycho and villain stuff, which is not a complaint. It's actually, I think it succeeds at making me more invested in all these various other characters and what they're doing right now. So I'm sure the spotlight will be back on Wonder Woman next issue, but
soon enough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, the Dolos mythology too. Fraudulent copies of Veritas, which is the goddess of truth.
I suspect there's an intentional duplication going on here.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm liking what Conrad and the other writer, Cloonan. What Conrad and Cloonan are doing here. This is kind of fitting for Wonder Woman because it's using all of these, not just the gods, but concepts, right? To tell a superhero story. And, some people might think it's a little bit too on the nose, but I feel like in 2022, everything's so wild that on the nose works.
Mm-hmm. I had a solid time. What are you giving Wonder Woman issue 7?
I'm going to give this one a 7.5.
Yeah, I agree with the 7.5. Solid good stuff. Like the characters, there's the character bonding and kind of growth between some of them is pretty good. So 7.5 for me too. And neither of us read the backup, which is why I'm just ignoring it. So cool. Batgirls issue 7. Becky, Cloonan, and Michael Conrad. Funnily enough, writing again. With Robbi Rodriguez on the art for this issue. So not Corona. Corona did the entire first arc, but we're switched to Robbi Rodriguez for this issue. Which isn't bad. Robbi Rodriguez is a solid enough artist, and I think he kind of emulates the style that's been going, but you can definitely tell the difference if you're looking for it. There's a full page spread early on of like the two Batgirls like sort of diving down, and there's definitely a different vibe to the art. I would say like that page is one of the wonkiest in that it kind of like some of the body proportions and shape they're making as they're jumping down is kind of weird. Like especially Steph, like it's like it really wants like her ass to like sort of stick up behind her, and it's like making this weird shape with her leg that it looks like she's making like an L shape. I don't know, it's odd. But so this I'm happy to say this is a much more focused issue because it's just dealing with one thing, which because one of the complaints with the first arc is that it was constantly juggling too much. So the Seers came to Batgirls for protection, and she's on the run from the Saints, the 3 villains who worship Simon Saint, and they're pissed at Seer for pretending to be him. So they're chasing after her, and they actually nab her. But the two Batgirls sort of confront them, and they pretend they're letting them go. And this is all part of their plan. Oracle's over the comms, and the main thing is that they follow them back to what turns out to be the Iceberg Lounge. The 3 villains have taken her inside because Seer's secret lair was actually underneath the Iceberg Lounge the whole time, and they go down there. So this issue is mostly set up for the next issue, which I know sounds a bit awkward, but there's a lot of fun banter between the characters, and when they're like, okay, how do we get in? It's too hard to break into the Iceberg Lounge, so what do we do? Bab's like, no, we'll just go in the front door. We'll go in, and there's some stuff with Seer and explaining some of her backstory. She was kind of abandoned by her parents when she was young, and basically has just scavenged all this equipment and became who she is underground. But it's like the plan is that Babs is going to get dressed up in a fancy dress and a ball gown and just go into the Iceberg Lounge. And there's a fun little segment where the other Batgirl's like, is this the best idea? And Cass is actually quite excited at the prospect of dressing up. So we get like a little fantasy page where it's all 3 of them are dressed up. So you get Steph in like this purple dress, Babs is in a black dress, and Cass is in like a fancy tuxedo. But then Babs is like, no, you two are going to be the oracles for this mission, so you're going to be outside with the computers talking to me. And Babs meets up with her date for the night, and look who it is. It's Dick Grayson in a suit. And so they're all fancy and dressed up. And the end of the issue is them just walking in to the Iceberg Lounge in, you know, their fancy outfits. So there's a bit of flirting here. They kind of point out how good each other look, and it's kind of playing it up a little bit. And then the other two Batgirls are outside on a rooftop with some laptops, and they also take out one of the Saints, the Sniper Saint, who's kind of watching from a distance. You know, honestly, I think this was a pretty solid issue because it was more focused and it set up a really potentially great issue for next time, because I actually really like the idea of them doing this kind of, you know, recon heist style issue with the Iceberg Lounge. Because I genuinely got a little excited with the Iceberg Lounge. It's also keeping some of the supporting cast going. The reporter who kept popping up last arc shows up in this for a page. She's reporting on something at the Iceberg Lounge, and it's kind of a fluff piece. So she may get roped into the story somehow next time. The only sort of complaint that I would still levy at this issue is we still have the third person narration, which is especially heavy in the first couple of pages. Once that dies down, though, it's not too bad. And I was kind of into it, so I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best issue. It might be the best issue so far from a craft perspective. It might be the issue with the least problems, and left me kind of feeling like, oh, I'm actually really digging this as a Batgirls book now. Because I wouldn't necessarily say the plot's as exciting as some of the stuff that they were doing before, but because it's actually allowed to breathe, and because it's just this one plot, and because I'm excited about this potential next issue with the Iceberg Lounge, it did a good job of setting it up. So I had fun with that. And the art, while I did complain about that full page spread, is mostly solid enough. It does some different things with the characters in a way. I feel like Cassie's hair's evolved a little bit. She has kind of like her hair tied up in kind of a I guess her hair's a bit longer now, as effectively is what I'm saying. She's got more of a ponytail as opposed to the sort of the bob that she usually has. But yeah, the characters feel distinct. The dialogue was mostly fun banter between them. Cass is speaking a bit more than she used to, but that's okay because she should probably do that as time goes on. But Steph's still speaking more though, which is the important part.
I feel like as long as Steph speaks more and she can pick up certain things, so she should talk more, but she shouldn't be as verbose as Steph ever.
Yeah, for sure. So that's really cool. And it does a good job as well of like when you get to the stuff where like Babs is in her like black gown and she's got like the sort of the white like coat over it. Like the city behind's all like sort of out of focus and kind of spark. It's got that kind of like, you know, glossy out and night in the town kind of like feel to it, and it's all about making it feel kind of magical. I will say the Dick Grayson here, like his face is a little bit different to all the other Dick Graysons I'm used to seeing right now. But it's not necessarily bad. He just looks a bit younger, I guess, than I would have expected. But no, had a good time though. Let's see. The art's not as good though. I mean, I do miss Corona a little bit, but I don't think Robbi Rodriguez is bad. A couple of little things here or there. You know, one dodgy page. It's not a big deal though. So I would happily give that my third 7.5. I've got a 7.5 week here apparently.
You're like the lottery.
Yeah, it's basically just nothing's been like amazing this week, but I'm getting a lot of solid good stuff. So
it's like I know the Robbi Rodriguez name. It's because he's the Spider-Gwen guy.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. So there you go. I might have to see how his Batgirls look.
Let's be honest here. I can see like a lot of overlap with Spider-Gwen and Stephanie Brown.
Yeah. No, there is.
Yeah. I can see a lot of overlap with that. Yeah, Stephanie Brown existed first. I think she did anyway.
Yeah, no, Stephanie Brown's been around since the Robin book of the 90s.
Oh, sure, but I mean, like even just her like solo adventures as Batgirl, I think predate.
No, because
Spider-Gwen.
Batgirl came
2009.
Yeah. So there you go. I would say it was after Battle of the Cowl and all of that stuff, because I remember the issue that Babs comes to her, and that's where the waffles came from.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, phenomenal series. Brian Q. Miller's Batgirl, I highly recommend. But yeah, there you go. That's Batgirls issue 7. Batman Urban Legends issue 16, or at least one of the stories in it. Matt, what you got for us?
All right, so this is the end of the Mark Russell, Carl Mostert, Batman or Ace the Bat Hound story, where it last left off is Batman was in the ring with the Russian bear that they were trying to dispose of, and the evil Russian guy that's the villain of this is to show off that it's really Batman. He's gonna make him fight the bear. So I was like, oh great, so now I'm gonna have to watch Batman fight a bear. This is not great. But all the other villains are there and they're bidding on Batman as he fights this bear. But Bruce is doing a pretty good job of trying not to hurt the bear, and the bear doesn't want to hurt him. But we do see Bruce openly charge at a brown bear, which I get, he's Batman, but still. But as they're fighting, the bids are going up to the point where it's Joker has the final bid. He gets up to, I think, 40 million before, and he goes, you accept clown coin, right? But it ends up fighting, and as Joker goes to leave to pay, right? Which is, it's kind of like, kind of get the point that Joker's not actually going to pay the money, but you hear it barking, and Ace has found Bruce. And he has Ace has his his vest on. It's like the utility belt. Gets Bruce out of there. The Speed Force turtle assists. The bear ends up crawling out of the octagon as the the Russian guy's place goes boom because of all the shots that are being fired out. It hits a gas tank. As he, holds his Fabergé egg and everything comes down around him, the original trainer of them all is there, and he's crawling out of the rubble. And as he thinks he's in the clear, he sees Lex Luthor, the dog that, was a failure for Lex, who starts licking him, which then leads to the no stop. And Lex ends up being his undoing. Ace is helping Bruce. The Joker, being that he was Ace's first owner, starts saying to come and help him, but Ace drags Bruce towards an escape. Later, Bruce's his arms in a sling. He's at Wayne Manor. They bring the Speed Force turtle to Flash, and he takes him back to Keystone. The little squirrel ends up living behind Wayne Manor, and Bruce has made behind Wayne Manor into the Wayne Wooded Reserve, and he releases the bear there. And it ends with this very nice panel of Bruce and Ace watching the bear, go off into, to freedom, and Bruce patting Ace on the ears and let him know he's a good boy. Just exactly my kind of stuff. Most of the animals make it through. It's only sad, in certain parts. I was worried that not all the animals were going to make it out, but Mark Russell really, I don't think he's that heartless to do that. But it's a really good story, and this is just almost like the what's it called in movies where it's post-climax, where everything big has happened, but this is all just everything else. It's almost not quite an epilogue, but I think I'm trying to remember film school, the denouement, I believe, is what it's called. But it just wraps up everything, and Bruce always knowing that he's never alone because Ace has his back. So yeah, no, it's a real fun story. People should seek this out. I think they're collecting it in one of the Urban Legends trades fairly soon. But yeah, I give this story. This is this issue. So the story of itself is probably an 8.5, but this little epilogue piece is closer to probably 7.5. But and unless other things come up, I think this is my last Urban Legends issue, just because it's become such a mixed bag.
Sure.
And
yeah.
at the price, it's hard for me to justify. I was talking with a friend on Twitter that it's their last one too, because for $8, I mean, that's 2 other books I could be picking up that I'm not. But if I hear good things about some other ones, but they make it tough. So like in the Solicits this week, they talk about that Joey Esposito has another story in Urban Legends, and I really enjoyed the Plastic Man story last issue. So it's kind of one of these things. It's like, do I don't know. It all depends what the week looks like too, what my budget is. But yeah.
But I mean, it has dwindled where you went from talking about all 4 stories to 2 and then to 1.
Yeah.
So
I thumbed through the end of the Zatanna and Batman story, and it seemed to be similar to this, where it was just kind of an epilogue of Zatanna and Bruce. A lot of pages of them standing and talking, which really didn't take advantage of that artist who draws really fun action layouts. But hey, again, I don't know what happened to that story. I'm sure Zatanna and Batman are fix their relationship or whatever. But this was the main story. I'm a big Mark Russell fan, so I look forward to that Superman story that's coming out. So the Prestige with Mike Allred will be this next one, and but yeah, no, that's the last of the Ace of the Bat Hound.
All right, cool. Naomi season 2, issue 4. Brian Michael Bendis and David Everett Walker, with Jamal Campbell on the art. Of course, D arrived or crash landed back in the last issue, and that's kind of where we pick up with this.
Hard times for D.
Yeah,
not doing well.
And Naomi doesn't know what to do. Her parents are having kind of a heart-to-heart moment when they hear the crash, and that's kind of what leads us into like going to check out what happened. And yeah, there's some nice layouts of like Naomi panicking, being worried about D. What should I do? Do I call an ambulance? She calls Kal-El at the Hall of Justice, and there's no Justice League members there, but they have medical facilities, so that's kind of like the goal. So she ends up putting them in an ambulance and like flying the ambulance to the Hall of Justice. And D does wake up a little bit, kind of mutters a couple things. Eventually, sort of does talk about going to fight Zambado, and we get a great full-page spread of like the two in silhouette going to war. But then there's a 2-page layout which shows that but he has like 5 or 6 lieutenants who all showed up, and then it was like, so it sort of presents the idea that D might have had a chance one-on-one. Like it felt like a clash of the Titans when it was just the 2 of them.
He was, so he's like the Thanagarian Death Squad for a reason, right? Like he's a bad dude, but Zambado seemed to have an ace up his sleeve, and I like how everything's in silhouette because we're getting D's recollection of the story.
It works as well because like we're eventually going to see them fight Naomi, and the whole point is we don't want to spoil so this is like a tease without seeing it properly.
Right, but just for the story aspect of it too, though, is we're getting Dee's hazy recollection of it all, right? And it's being told to Naomi, who doesn't know who these, she knows Zambado, so you can kind of get details on Zambado and Dee, but the other ones that show up, Naomi's in the dark. I just feel that's a really good story piece for the art.
Yeah, a nice touch though is that they all in silhouette. There's that panel. It's another 2-page layout, but they're all lined up. But they all have like a little bit of color on them as well with the silhouette. So it's whether it's like the outline in Zambado, or like the one with the wings has yellow in the wings, or there's one that's got a bit of red in his tail. There's just a little bit of color to make it look a bit more playful.
And the chain thing too. That's highlighted.
I've got a really there's a page coming up here where it's Naomi and she flies back home. And it does this thing where she's perfectly in the middle of each panel, and the panels are all like slanted in different directions, and the backgrounds keep changing because it's like there's the Hall of Justice in the first couple, and then she's outside, and then she's in the sky, and then she's standing at the crowd back in her hometown, and it really gives you this impression. Like when you're watching like a movie or something, and they'll do that thing where they attach the camera to the body, and it's like they're sort of like almost teleporting because they're just like, and it represents the idea that she's so deep in thought and she's so worried about what's going on that she's barely even, she's on autopilot and she's barely even noticing that she's moving. It kind of gives you that sense going down this page. I thought it was really good.
She's lost in her head, and we know that time's going on because of the change in scenery. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that's real good. I didn't even think of that, but that is a good. Or even what that would look like in motion. Or
even like a character and like they're standing still, but there's like a time lapse going behind them. It's kind of maybe that. Yeah. So the idea here is there's a politician who shows up and says, Naomi, like, you've brought all this stuff to our town. Things were quiet before you, and now it might as well be Gotham City with all the chaos that's happening.
Here's the thing, dude. F off. Right? She's a kid. B, this is really the first thing. Like, Superman caused more trouble when he flew through there and inspired her, this is one person that already lives in your town, right? That crash landed. But as he walks away, there's like a sinister smile on his face.
Yeah.
So there's something more to him.
Because he knows he's going to get more support as well, I think. This is going to work. This idea of like turning a group of people against her is going to work.
Yeah.
And more to his point, as he's walking away, just at the end of this, the big cliffhanger of the issue is that the portal rips in the sky. Because, and this was teased earlier, is that D going to there to fight Zimbado actually gave because they want to come here. That's been their goal for a while, but since the first volume of this book. And Zimbado now has a shortcut because D's went there and like returned. So the sky opens up at the end. It's a big 2-page spread, the last page, and it's like, Naomi, there's no Justice League to come and help you. They're all off on assignment. And so we've seen that they all kick the shit out of D, so now Naomi has to take them all on her own, which, you know, as a writing technique goes, this is a little simple in that, D couldn't do it. He couldn't fight all 6 of these characters on his own. But Naomi is probably going to just be able to do it, and let's scrape together the courage and the strength to fight them all. Maybe not right away. Maybe it'll be a good issue of like turmoil first. But
I do think we're going to get a Spider-Man moment, right? This is still Bendis.
Sure.
Of the town coming around her, and that's what the mayor is like. Oh, we don't want you here. You cause troubles. You're turning it into Gotham. But no, she's still, you know, a kid of the community, and the community is going to kind of, because that's what the bully coming to talk to her last issue. That's only nice to her because now you know she has superpowers. I feel that was kind of the seed of, oh no, this community is going to rise up behind this girl, and you know, I don't know how much good that's going to do, but I feel that that's going to give her the hope and inspiration she needs.
I definitely think her father's going to put on his Ran suit.
I do too, because him saying that he's homesick and the mom kind of gets upset. I mean, I knew where he was coming from, right? All of this cosmic adventure scene makes him like, oh yeah, I was a part of something. It's not homesick as much as it's nostalgia.
He's reminiscing.
The mom's upset though too.
It's making him reminisce because he's seen all these things that he's not seen in a long time, and it's giving him this fire.
Yeah, and I feel like he's got that suit in there, and you know, D, you know, he didn't fare too well, but that was on their turf too. We saw the Justice League had a hard enough time against Zimbado in that world, you know. So maybe, you know, Naomi does have a better chance.
Yeah, I mean, like I enjoyed this issue. I'm excited for the fight. It's all smart stuff. The only critique I can really level at it is the potential for it to feel, and I'm going to use a wrestling term here just to sort of like say what I'm going to say, but it basically feels it could feel a little like make Roman look strong, kind of like, you know, bro. Like there's a little bit of that.
I thought that too, but I tried not to let it, because I enjoyed almost everything.
Yeah.
But when it's like, I was like, well, Dee didn't stand a chance. How is she going to? And then that's when I thought about the Spider-Man of the community rallying around her.
I like that idea, actually. I do like that.
Yeah, because I don't want the idea, like, I know, like, it's been thrown around online that maybe her code name will end up being Powerhouse because she is super strong and whatever. I don't like the idea of her being able to defeat these 6 people by herself. I feel like there's going to be a catch.
It mostly just depends how it happens. If she just narrowly like sort of like survives and holds them off long enough for help or something, like that's fine.
And, but I feel like too though that Dee talked about how they used to fight each other, but then when they had a common goal of coming to Earth, they all, you know, lined up behind Zimbado. So I also feel like that they might start, you know, they could internally combust as well. But yeah, but what were you saying?
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with Naomi being like, you know, on similar levels to Superman or being that powerful. But you've already told me that Justice League can't take on this team, and you've told me D can't do it. So and have her survive long enough to be impressive, absolutely. But what you don't want to do, because I think Bendis can be guilty of this, is like overselling his characters to be like, oh, they're the greatest and they can take on all the odds that no one else can, kind of thing.
You know, it's the golden child whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, is this character can do it because they're this character, and that is why we have issues in wrestling of characters having a push, whether it was Cena or Roman or whoever. You know, there's no justification in the story of them winning so easily.
You need the odds to be big, but you don't want to stack them so high that it just feels like a cheap
it's
thing.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And this may all be completely moot because like it all depends on how they actually do this next issue. It all depends on that.
But yeah, and that's what drives me nuts about this book is because there's always that one little thing that's there. But I loved everything else about the book, whether it was the parents talking or her going to D, and D kind of being out of it and telling the story, and even her parents going to her friend to find out what's going on with Naomi. There's all these little character moments that Bendis is still so good at.
Yeah, and in fact, that's kind of the challenge of this issue because this issue, because we're getting later in the story now, is inherently more plot focused than it is character moment focused. So that's a bit of a challenge. I do think it's mostly still really good though, and I would obviously have praised the art. I've talked about some specific moments. I'd add that final page where they're all coming through this tear in the sky. Yeah. It's very obviously pointed and intentional that Naomi's quite small in that page. She feels tiny compared to these 6 super powered like overlords or whatever they are. Yeah. So like it's doing a lot of smart things in the art, and just the general art quality from Campbell is very, very pretty,
top notch.
So really good stuff. And there's some good stylistic flourishes in there too. So book's still really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it does this, because there's 2 issues of this left. So we'll see, but it's good stuff. So what are you giving Naomi?
I'm giving this an 8.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with the 8 on this.
The art does a lot of the lifting there for me though, because those pages of D fighting the bad guys, and even the parents talking have this lightness to them.
Yeah, I think like I say, it sort of almost loses a little bit compared to earlier issues because it's more plot than it is character, and the character is the better part of this book. But I think the art does then elevate a lot of the stuff that's in this issue because it does play with how it handles it so well. You got all the flashback stuff from D being in silhouette, and that's very interesting and looks different from most of the other pages. And then the way it handles like Naomi's state of mind through the inventive paneling and things like that, like all great stuff. So yeah, 8 from me. Yeah. So good stuff. All right, Jurassic League issue 2, 1 Gedeon co-writing and art, and then also Daniel Warren Johnson co-writing. So it's weird to. I've not figured out how to say that combination yet, because it's weird that it's co-writers but one's also the artist. I've not figured out how to say that in a sentence yet, but you know what I mean. So last issue, the cliffhanger was Giganta and Bizarro, or their dinosaur equivalents, I should say.
I mean, because she's a dinosaur, I'm gonna call her Giganta. So yes, after pronunciations that I've learned in the last week.
Yes, from terrible movies that came out.
No, it's not a terrible movie.
It's a mess. Jurassic World demands it. Let's just get it out of the way just now, because it's dinosaurs we're talking about.
We can talk about this after. Let's not take away from Jurassic League.
I'm just saying. It is the Rise of Skywalker of the Jurassic Park franchise. It is.
I disagree.
The parallels are absolutely shocking, quite frankly.
It's like Rise of Skywalker, but good. So
no, it's like Rise of Skywalker.
No.
Full stop.
Disagree. Anyway, but yeah, Giganta, because for the longest time I thought that was a Gigantosaurus. Then I heard a paleontologist on a podcast. It was a Giganotosaurus or Giganotosaurus, depending on how you want to say it. And I was like, I've been saying this wrong for a very long time. So it would make sense that this was Giganta, and Brontosaurus, which I was a little disappointed it wasn't more like a Bizarro, which I hate Bizarro speech, but this, I don't know how they could have done it, but making those certain letters actually backwards didn't help reading his dialogue.
It didn't, but it was easier than what they do sometimes where it's all in reverse.
Right, but I felt like it wasn't Bizarro, right? Like it just looked like Bizarro. Or Brontosaurus.
Yeah, no, but I wish actual Bizarro just did this because it'd be easier to read.
Right, but I know why they chose this character to do this with, because you want someone for Supersaurus and whatnot, but I don't know. It just felt like not Bizarro. It just felt like, insert evil dinosaur here, and that's all. And the only thing that was different was the lettering was backwards. Like I didn't get any of the, with Bizarro, I always feel like you want Bizarro to be being manipulated by someone else, and that's why they're doing bad things. Because at the end of the day, Bizarro wants to be Superman. And I know you can't really do that because this is Jurassic League, not Justice League. But I don't know. Just beyond the name. But it led to a fun action sequence.
Yeah. I mean, the book starts with our young human who will. I'm just going to refer to him as the Robin because I assume that's what he's representing. Following
little creature as Bat.
Following Batsaur. Batsaur can't understand him because he's speaking human. So that's a nice distinction. Obviously, Super Saur can speak human because he's been living with humans.
Yeah.
But he can also speak dinosaur, which is important too because he can speak to both Batsaur and.
He is the bridge between
Robin.
them.
Yeah. But yeah, when we cut back to that stuff, Super Saur's fighting them. Batsaur's heard the crash of them landing, so he actually does come in eventually during the fight. There's a lot of pages here where like either Super Saur or mostly the villains like pick up like just handfuls of humans, so you get these like weird visuals of just like all these humans being carried in like a bunch. Which is kind of funny to be honest. But yeah, Batsaur shows up, comes in, and immediately saves a couple of humans by diving in to stop, to move them out of the way from this falling tree or whatever it is. And Super Saur's like, are you friend or foe? And he's like, I have no friends, but no one harms weaklings in my presence. So it kind of quickly becomes a very Batman Superman-esque. Like,
yes.
Batsaur's grumpy, doesn't, play nice, but he's obviously doing all the right things and being good. And Super Saur's being the goody two-shoes, as you'd expect. So yeah, we get a big fight sequence where they do actually lose. They don't win.
Either way,
the villains do grab all the humans and saunter off. And obviously they're part of a team, and we see the Reverse Flash dinosaur takes the Jokersaurus to like be saved.
Yeah, Jokerzard and Reverse Slash.
Yeah,
the names still kill me. I love it.
Wait, what's the Reverse Flash's name?
Reverse Slash.
Reverse Slash.
Slash, yeah.
Reverse Slash.
Slash, yeah.
Okay.
Like the guitarist from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, but what dinosaur is that based on?
I have no idea. I feel like they just went with the easy fun name,
Surely you could do something with Zoom more than Reverse Flash, if you wanted to turn it into a dinosaur name.
Yeah, I do know from the Solicits we're getting the Doomosaurus, which I feel is Doomsday, but there's also a dinosaur.
Yeah. Also, I've just noticed, I've not looked at myself in ages. The sun's came out more as the podcast has been on, and I look like I'm in
blown out.
Yeah, I look like I'm in like heaven or something right now with this light source.
Well, we were talking about Jurassic League, so it is heaven.
So we get to meet probably my favorite name of the book actually is Atrocitaurus.
And it's a Carnotaurus. He's got the horns.
I actually just think it's cool because I wasn't expecting Atrocitus in the book,
neither.
so it was a really nice surprise when I turned the page, and that's so it's so weird to see a Joker version being subservient to a Atrocitus, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that Joker's not the be all end all villain for once,
right? And I do feel though that's how this is a little bit different. That it is inspired by Justice League, but it's not using those direct correlations.
Yeah.
Because we get there that Robin calls them not dinosaurs but demons from underneath. So I do feel like there's something different about these dinosaurs versus the Jurassic League.
Yeah, I'm sure this is stuff that they're going to get into and like unfold as time goes on. Yeah. So and obviously Batsaur and Super Saur introduce themselves to each other. There's a really sweet moment where young Robin actually tries to help Batsaur because he tries to pull him out from underneath this big tree. And obviously Super Saur picks it up, and that's the moment where Batsaur really sees that, oh wait, you've got super strength. You aren't just like a big dinosaur. You're there's something different about you. But they're like, yeah, we both have a common goal. Should we team up, kind of thing? And they agree. So we get this great panel of like, yeah, let's go save my people. And Super Saur's clenching his fist, and Batsaur's got his rock batarangs like in between his fingers, ready to go. And that's when we finally cut to Wonder Dawn, the Triceratops Wonder Woman, who runs into the villains and immediately sees that there's humans in distress, and tries to intervene and whacks Giganta with her sword.
The broadside. And she says, "Hey, keep it up, you'll get the sharp side," which is such a Wonder Woman thing to do, right?
I mean, it's hard not to just have fun with this. I mean, it's paced so well and goes in so quick that I was not prepared for the so when Batsaur and Supersaur show up and they become for the first time it's the Trinity of dinosaurs, and they're doing this. It's almost like the in Power Rangers when all the Zords are like driving alongside before they come together.
Yeah,
it's that shot of them like going on one direction. That's the last page. It's like to be continued. I'm like, no, I was just getting into this. What are you doing to me?
Dang it! Now I'm gonna hear the Power Rangers music.
Which obviously their Zords are based on dinosaurs, so this is also relevant.
Yeah. But yeah, this is just so much fun. It's as I say, it's dumb and I love it.
This is so much better than it has any right to be. I can't believe this is actually as good as it is.
Yep. Well, and the invisible pterodon too, Thunderbeak, fun character, and that the Joker's Zard, is subservient to the what's his name, Atrocitosaurus, because he brings them back using this whatever that energy is.
A tree. I mean, I was wondering, is this some with their version of a Lazarus pit, but it could be something more specific. I don't know.
Something different, yeah. So, but yeah, Atrocitosaurus. That's
this is shockingly good and entertaining. Because like when they announced it, it was like, okay, this is funny because Matt's going to lose his shit. But
it's so gimmicky, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but I wasn't.
It's gonna be fun, but will it be good? And yes, it's
so far it's been very good, and it's been really playing with the in the same way that a Tom Taylor deceased kind of like does the zombie version of the DC universe. This is very much doing the dinosaur version of the DC universe, and making it mostly work in a way that's interesting. So I really can't deny. And the art's gorgeous. I love that last page. That last page is a poster you can put in your wall.
Yeah, for sure. If they release it, I'll have it. We'll see it behind here. There's two of my favorite things: dinosaurs and superheroes.
Yeah, I'm into it. Admittedly, Super Sor, I'm still getting the Goombas from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, I wish his neck was a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm used to it now, but it still makes me think of that a little bit.
Yeah,
if I'm honest. But yeah, because one of the creators commented on the standalone version of the review for the last issue, and that was nice to see. So
confirmed that the Aquaman dinosaur is based off of Baryonyx, which is super cool, and said we'll get all their names soon and that it won't disappoint.
Well, now the Trinity's together, we can add someone else next issue probably. I imagine maybe more.
Yeah, I believe you said on the first one. This is kind of almost a better Justice League origin than some of the other ones we've gotten over time. It was just with the way that they're being introduced and just using of the broad strokes. So I'm definitely excited to read Do a Powerbomb. I'll probably read that this week. I got a surprise day off Monday, so I'll probably take that time to catch up on some books. But yeah, see what Daniel Warren Johnson has up his sleeve for that one. Which then make.
I was gonna say, Joe, I love about the art is I love how expressive I'm getting some of these there's a the page where Wonder Dawn sees the villains with the people and she shouts "You there!" Like the look of concern on this Triceratops' face is really good and funny to me. But then you get the anger of Giganta. I don't know. It's just there's something kind of neat about getting all these expressions from less human style characters for a change. It's neat. I don't know. I'm into it. I love that Batsaur's got a proper snout as well, so we get a lot of good growling and stuff like that.
Lots of teeth. Yeah.
So I'm into it. All right, what are you giving Jurassic League issue 2?
8.5.
I'm just gonna go to straight 8. I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun. But I have some perspective. I have some perspective. But much better than the new Jurassic World movie. I'll say that much. Much better.
I'm not going to disagree, but I still like the Jurassic World movie. So.
So yes, that takes us out of the part of the show though. We pick our favorite stuff of the week, favorite panel / moment, favorite cover, favorite art, and top 5 books. So starting with panel / moment, what you got?
I mean, there's a lot to choose from, and I really want to pull from Jurassic League, but I'm such a sucker for Crypto. The dog, not the stupid, other stuff, but Crypto the dog. That his appearance in, when he shows up in Superman.
I don't think anyone was going to think you were talking about cryptocurrency, Matt. I think it's
I just want to make sure because I get ads for it all the time, and I know my phone's listening because I talk crap about it. Yeah. Now Crypto's a rival in Superman, son of Kal-El.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Naomi. I think I have to go with that transition where she flies from the Hall of Justice to back to her town with the different panels and her in the middle. I really like that sequence, so I gotta go with that. Cover of the week. What you got?
It is the variant for Jurassic League where it looks like they're uncovering fossils. That was my dream job as a kid. So yeah, it's just a fun cover.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't have a ton that stuck out to me this week. It was a kind of an easy choice. I will say there's a variant for Batgirls that I like the concept of, which is all the Bat family sitting in a movie theater, but I don't like the art style. So unfortunately, it wasn't for me. But my actual pick is a Batgirls cover. It is the Kim Jacinto cover, which is really nice, sharp angles, really nice coloring. It's got like a white background on the sides and sort of central strip where the two Batgirls, Steph and Cass, are there in the middle with their capes flowing in either direction. I really like that cover. It was the easy pick of the week for me in terms of covers.
Yeah, you know what you're saying about it's very manga-esque, the other cover.
Yeah, I don't like the art style, but I do like the concept of them all sitting in a movie theater like that.
This one's very good too. This seems like this was what I feel comic book covers are. It's very representative of it. So yeah.
And then we got best art of the week. What you got?
Yeah. Whew, this is tough. This comes out between Jurassic League and why am I drawing a blank?
Naomi?
And Naomi, thank you. Yeah. I think this week I'll give the edge to Jurassic League. Just a little. Sure.
They're very different styles, so it is obviously a hard comparison to make because Jurassic League is big, bold, lots of speed lines, and very animated, over the top expressions on these dinosaur faces. Whereas Jamal Campbell's art on Naomi is a lot more down to earth. It's a lot more like shaded and detailed, and like you're sort of going for this more character driven thing. Yeah, I agree. It's between those two, I think, quite safely. I think I'm going to give the edge to Naomi, but there's definitely between those two for sure. So very cool. And then top 5 books, and I think you read 6. So
I read. Hold on, I have 5. Wait, yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah,
4,
you didn't read Batgirls. Yeah, okay.
Oh wait, no, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5.
Okay, well, rank them then.
All right, so number 1 is Jurassic League. 2 is Naomi. 3 is Superman, Son of Kal-El. 4 is Wonder Woman, and 5 is Urban Legends.
Cool. All right, my number 1 is. I actually think I'm going to put Jurassic League at number 1, despite the fact that I gave Naomi a couple of the other awards. I think overall I'd say I like that just a little bit more. So Jurassic League issue 2 at number 1. Number 2 is Naomi. Number 3, Superman, Son of Kal-El. Number 4, I think Batgirls. Number 5, Wonder Woman. Yeah.
There you go.
So, decent week. So, there you go. I'll tell you what's coming next week from DC Comics. So, coming out next week, we have Nightwing, issue 93, and that is a gorgeous main cover there.
That is.
Just from the small version I'm seeing, it looks really nice.
Yep, the blues and then how it bounces off of Bab's cape, the yellow.
Very nice. So, Nightwing 93, The Flash 783, Batman Superman World's Finest issue 4, Batman the Night issue 6, Catwoman issue 44, Dark Crisis Young Justice issue 1, so that's the first issue of the spin-off miniseries, so we'll be checking out that, see how that is. Black Adam issue 1, which also has a really nice regular cover, actually. That's Priest new series, so we'll be checking that out. Fables 152, Earth Prime issue 6, A Hero's Twilight, Aquaman the Flash, Void Song issue 1, and then we got Milestone in History issue 1. That's a $10 one shot, so what to expect from that. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen's boss Perry White. What's this? Such a weird title.
This is the Faction Lieber special.
Yeah, so that's a one shot as well. And then Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? 116. So no, a super pack week for me. You've got a couple of, because you'll be reading that Jimmy Olsen Perry White thing for sure.
I'll be reading that. Yeah, and it's only $5, so it's not that much bigger than a typical book. But between that, Black Adam, and the miniseries starting. Yeah, I'll be trying Black Adam, the Young Justice books tie-in for sure. And then I've got like 4 main books on top of that. So so it's a reasonable enough week next week. But not too, I mean, it's not a big week, but it's not too little. No.
So we'll see you next week for that. I'll take this time to thank our Patreon producers for the month, so thank you very much to Tyler Hess, Cindy Palacios, David Short, Bordnow, Christopher Moy, David Brown, Al Treisman, and Alison M. Fordyce. They're producer tier patrons over at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV, but you can support us for as little as $1 per month and help keep the podcast and all the other content we do coming. Of course, check out MailFuzz TV and MailFuzz Movies. Those YouTube channels have TV episode reviews, movie reviews. You can hear why Jurassic World Dominion's not very good on the Atomic Cinema Experiment over there.
Fake news.
Also has a podcast feed for that show and some of those as well. So go check out those. Of course, rate the podcast 5 stars on iTunes, wherever you get your podcast from. All very helpful. And that's Twitter at DC Comics Podcast. Worth mentioning that. So there you go. Go and have a look see. But otherwise, that is pretty much us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep reading DC Comics, and remember to never get lost in the Speed Force.